before there were millions of customers. Before there was the Matol family of distributors, there was just one man, pursuing a dream because he believed in its value to the world, focusing his energy and tremendous intellect to finding viable solutions to the world's health problems.
In 1922, I planted a seed. It grew into a tree, a big, tall tree. It shades you all, it gives you fruit, and it provides those blessings that nature always gives.
As a young boy, growing up in Austria, Karl spent much of his early life in the natural environment of the nearby mountains and alpine valleys. Through repeated exposure to the natural elements, he soon gained a deep love of nature and the beauty of the world around him. At the same time, he developed a profound respect for the life-sustaining properties of natural plants and herbs. Along with his friends, Karl developed into an accomplished and avid mountain climber. Drawn by the beauty and challenge of the nearby Alps, Karl would often go to the mountains to perfect his skills. It was during one such expedition with some companions that Karl experienced a harsh lesson, one that nearly cost him his life. During this particular climb, Karl experienced a shortness of breath and a sudden severe loss of strength. All his energy literally drained from his body. He found himself helpless against the demands of the rugged mountain. Never had he experienced such a feeling. He was shocked and frightened at what was happening to his body. In time, he overcame his initial panic and began to conserve his strength so he could endure this experience and retreat down the mountain. This experience was a turning point in Karl's life. Driven by his need to overcome this physical limitation, Karl was convinced that a combination of science and nature held the key to the solution. Now, suddenly, he was driven by an urgent need to combine the laws of science with the wonders of nature. Convinced that a solution to his experience on the mountain was in his grasp, and already intrigued by his studies of certain plants, which revealed a wide variety of unique and marvelous properties, he now sought for a combination of botanicals which would have a significant positive effect on the human body. He determined that if he could discover the right elements, the combination would work in concert with the body's own systems to bring about the desired positive results. And Karl dedicated himself completely to the discovery of this combination.
I thought I knew much about the mystery of plants and started to integrating molecules of different plants, and eventually I came about with a preparation that was really helpful, and from then on I started perfecting it.
For 8 months following his experience on the mountain, Karl worked with painstaking care, experimenting, observing, evaluating. Methodically, he continued to analyze the molecular structure of each plant and combination, knowing that the molecular possibilities were virtually endless. Still, he continued day by day, driven by his need to unlock the secret. After 8 months of concentrated research, experimentation, and study, Karl's formula was nearly complete. After a particularly intense day in the lab, his mind no longer able to respond, Karl went home to sleep.
One night I was working hard to solve my last problem on the formulation, and I got very, very tired, went home, fell asleep, and had a very vivid dream. And in that dream, I really found the key to this formulation. I rushed next day to the lab, and sure enough, I had it.
The next morning, Karl rushed to the lab in anxious anticipation and found that indeed the mystery had been solved. His formula was complete. Karl Jurak had succeeded. A formula that successfully blended science and nature. Originally developed for his personal use, he realized that it was now starting to have a positive impact on those with whom he shared it. News of his discovery spread, and he soon received requests from colleagues, family, and friends for samples of his formula. With absolutely no thought of commercial gain, he freely offered his formula to those whose lives he touched. In 1922, and for many years thereafter, Karl was compelled to respond to the many requests of friends and acquaintances that had benefited from his discovery. Karl did not fully understand at the time that he was paving the way for people everywhere to benefit from his precious formula. He was a man of science, not an entrepreneur. Karl Jurak's legacy is one of service, unselfish motives, and devotion to the improvement of the health environment of mankind. And it all started in 1922 in an obscure laboratory in Austria.
As a scientist, his inventions were born out of serious human needs. His first and finest achievement, one he developed some 60 years ago, was born out of a personal need. His mind not working in a commercial way, he never considered the idea of merchandising his product. So for the next 60 years, he shared it only with family and friends, never charging anyone.
I feel that this is a product that is exceedingly good for people at large. I've given it away for a long time, and of course I don't feel at all commercial about it.
It was here on October 22nd, 1984, that Matol Botanical International's first meeting was held to a standing room only audience of 4 people. But in spite of that humble beginning, Matol Botanical became an almost overnight success. For the next 2 years in Canada, the company enjoyed absolutely phenomenal growth. The product by this time had become known from coast to coast in Canada due to the results people experienced using the product. However, the time had come for it to be made available to the U.S. market.
Matol Botanical International Limited was a big name for a company that only had one unique product and hardly a business plan on which to build. However, the mission was clear from the start: to impact world health, and the men behind it had a dream that would not die. Matol's first home was on Jerry Street in Montreal, and it was a far cry from the accommodations the fledgling company would one day merit, but well suited for its small staff. Robert announced a ceaseless dedication to their mission as they shared Karl Jurak's formula. The first issue of Matol's Journal was published. Matol also made front-page news in Moneymakers Monthly as Company of the Month. And with a new home office, there was certainly much to be celebrated at the 4th anniversary party held in Hawaii.
I remember in 1984 alone, we were in 300 square feet of surface. And today, we find ourselves approximately with 30,000 square feet that we share with 70 people.
The first leadership conference in Anaheim.
By the way, I have to introduce myself. My name is Karl Jurak.
From a distance, we are...
You give somewhere, somehow, down the line, you'll receive.
what is important is what made possible tonight for 10,000 people to get together under one roof is the strength that stems from those small meetings that were steadily, systematically held in houses, kitchens, basements, living rooms, all over North America. That's the strength of Matol. That's why we've got a pillar of a foundation. That's why you can count and put your trust in an outfit called Matol Botanical International.
The philosophy of sowing and reaping dates back thousands of years and is the cornerstone of Matol Botanical. Give and receive is what sets this company apart from all others. And the give and receive philosophy is embraced by Matol distributors worldwide.
No one can come up with an answer except that we feel that it has to do something with the blood and to the purification, oxygenation, and so on. It produces results which are sometimes completely out of the ordinary.
Many have tried to duplicate this original formula, but have never come close. A singular product that simply has no peers, and that no amount of marketing hype can replace the true effectiveness of a one-of-a-kind product that has made it one of the largest-selling liquid nutritional supplements in the world.
For a lifetime, it has helped me and my family and friends. In 60 years, given time, I have never seen this product fail once in helping do some good for the people using it.